Hi, this is Mary. Today we will make the Sofie scarf together. I know that many people make this scarf in a triangle shape with increases and decreases on one side only, but I like it more when the scarf looks like a diamond. So I make increases and decreases on both sides. This curve has many rows, increases and decreases. When I made it for the first time, I had to count very carefully so I didn't get confused. To help you, I made a special table. With it, you don't need to count every row yourself. Here's what we need. One ball of yarn, mine is 200 meters per 100 grams. You can use cotton or wool. Knitting needles, I use size 3. Scissors, yarn needle with a blunt tip, we use it to hide the yarn ends when the scarf is finished, and a special table where we will mark rows, increases and decreases. To make things easier, I created a PDF file with all the rows and numbers for 3 scarf sizes: small, medium and large. So you don't need to count or use markers, just follow the table. In the video I will show you how to use the table with the small scarf. In the file you'll find 2 types of tables, one with detailed row instructions and another one for printing only the tables, so you can cross out each row with a pen. And you can find the download link in the video description. At the beginning, we will need the first 10 rows to make the scarf edges. Those edges are a little thicker than the rest of the scarf. They make the scarf look neat and finished. We start knitting the main part of the scarf only from row 11. Let's start knitting. I will show everything slowly so you can follow me. Leave a short yarn tail about 15 or 20 centimeters. Place the yarn over your thumb and index finger. Hold the ends with your other fingers. Now take your needle and go under the yarn. Hold it. Move the needle under your thumb. Insert the needle into the loop on your thumb. Next, take the top yarn from your index finger. Then insert the needle back into the bottom loop. Pull the yarn to make the stitch tight. Now we have 2 stitches on the needle. Let's add 4 more stitches. We need 6 stitches in total. I'll show it slowly. Repeat with me. Turn the work so that the working yarn is on the right side. Move the tail so it doesn't get in the way. Place the working yarn over the index finger of your left hand. The first stitch will just slip from the left needle to the right needle. Next, we will need 2 stitches as knit stitches. Insert the needle from front to back, from left to right. Catch the yarn from below and pull it through. Knit the second stitch the same way, insert the needle from front to back, from left to right. Catch the yarn from below and pull it through. The first rows are the hardest because it's hard to hold the fabric and the stitches may be tight. But after 10 or 15 rows it will be much easier. Next, move the working yarn on the front and keep it on front of the work. Now simply slip the remaining 3 stitches from the left needle to the right needle, keep the yarn in front of the work. The first row is finished, mark the first row in the table. Turn the needle so the working yarn is on the right side. Keep the yarn behind the work and start the second row. The second row will be a little different from the first row. Insert the needle into the first stitch, from front to back, from left to right. Now, instead of catching the yarn from below, place it over the needle from above, from right to left. Pull the stitch through and remove the stitch from the left needle. This is how we will knit the first stitch in every row. It will make the edge of the scarf neater. Next, knit the next 2 stitches the same way as in the first row. Insert the needle from front to back, from left to right, and catch the yarn from below. Next, move the working yarn to the front and slip the remaining stitches from the left needle to the right needle. Mark the second row in the table. Turn the work again. Insert the needle into the first stitch from front to back, from left to right. Place the yarn over the needle and pull the stitch through. Knit the next 2 stitches the same way as in the first row. Insert the needle from front to back, from left to right, and catch the yarn from below. Next, move the yarn to the front and slip the remaining stitches from the left needle to the right needle. Mark the third row in the table. I will now show the next row slowly without explaining in detail. You need to knit 10 rows this way. Just keep repeating the rows and marking them in the table until you reach the first increase. We have finished 10 rows, that was the tail part of the scarf. Now we need to add 1 stitch in the middle of the row. This is our first increase. It will help make the scarf wider. In the table, each plus means you add 1 stitch. Then knit 10 rows without any increases. In the 11th row we add 1 more stitch. Then again knit 10 rows and add 1 stitch in the 11th row. Repeat this until the end of the first table. Then we move to the second table. Here we need 8 rows straight plus 1 stitch in the 9th row. Continue this until we finish the table. In the next table we need 14 rows straight. After that we will start making decreases. That means the scarf will slowly get smaller. Then we move to decrease table. You will do the same steps as before, but instead of increasing, you will decrease 1 stitch each time. And you will do exactly the same if you will choose bigger scarf. Now we are on row 11, it's time to make the first increase. We need the first 3 stitches as usual. Those first 3 stitches will always be the same in every row. Next, look at the yarn between stitch 3 and stitch 4. This is not a stitch, it's just a thread between them. Insert the needle under the thread and knit it like a normal stitch. This is your new stitch, the increase. Now move the last 3 stitches from the left needle to the right needle without knitting them. Keep the yarn in front while doing this. So each row looks like this. Knit 3 edge stitches, then knit all main stitches in the middle and move the last 3 edge stitches without knitting. We finished the row with our first increase. Don't forget to mark it in the table. Let's knit several rows together. In the next rows we do the same, but now we need 4 stitches instead of 3 because we added 1 stitch. Knit the new stitch like the others. After that the increases will be a little different. We will not use the yarn between stitches anymore. So you need to watch the video further and do a few more increases with me. Now you have finished 10 more rows. In row 11 we will make the next increase. Knit the first 3 H loops as usual. Now, from the 4th loop, we will make 2 loops. First, increase the needle into the back of the loop, from right to left behind the loop. Take the yarn and pull it through, but don't take the loop off the left needle yet. Now insert the needle into the front of the same loop, from left to right. Take the yarn again and pull it through. Now you can take the loop of the needle. Now you have 2 loops from 1 loop. Slip the last 3 loops without knitting them and keep the yarn in front. Don't forget to mark this row in the table. In the next row, knit as usual. Now you knit 5 loops, then slip the last 3 loops. Knit 10 more rows like this. Then in row 11, come back to the video, we will do the next increase together. Again, knit the first 3 H loops. Now we do the increase in the 4th loop. Remember, we always increase or decrease in the 1st loop. Insert the needle into the back of the loop and pull the yarn through. Don't remove the stitch yet. Now insert the needle into the front of the same loop and pull the yarn through again. Now remove the stitch from the left needle. Knit 1 more loop normally. Then slip the last 3 loops, holding the yarn in front. Now knit the next 10 rows the same way. 3 H loops, 3 regular loops and 3 slipped loops. Come back in row 11 for the next increase. Once again, in row 11, knit 3 H loops. Make the increase in the 4th loop, first into the back, then into the front. Knit 2 more loops. Slip the last 3 loops, yarn in front. Knit 10 rows like that, 3 H loops, 4 middle loops, 3 slipped loops. Then you will do the next increase in row 11. Don't forget to mark every row in the table so you don't lose your place. You will cope with the following increases on your own. Return to the video when you reach the first decrease. They are marked with a minus sign in the table. When you finish all the rows from the green table with increases, it's time to start decreasing. In the table, decreases are shown with a minus sign and marked in red. Knit the first 3 H stitches as usual. All decreases, just like increases, are always made in the 4th stitch. To do this, we knit the 4th and 5th stitches together. My stitches are tight, so I stretch them a little first. Insert the needle into both stitches at once. Wrap the yarn around the needle, I find it easier to do this from above, and pull the yarn through. The first decrease is done. Knit the next stitches as usual, the body stitches with knit stitch, and the last 3 H stitches just slip without knitting, keeping the yarn in front. Now knit 8 rows straight. In the 9th row, make another decrease. And again, 8 rows straight, and in the 9th row, decrease. And repeat this pattern. Continue knitting until you reach the last decrease row, then come back to the video to finish the scarf together and bind off the stitches. Now we are at the last decrease row. You should have 7 stitches on your needle, 3 edge stitches, 1 middle stitch and 3 more edge stitches. Knit the first 2 stitches as usual. Then knit the third and the fourth stitches together. Slip the last 3 edge stitches without knitting and keeping the yarn in front. We have only last part, 10 rows, to finish the end of the scarf. Knit 9 rows just like at the beginning. Knit the first 3 stitches, then slip the last 3 stitches without knitting. Leave the 10th row for binding off. Knit to that point and come back. Now we will bind off. Knit the first stitch as usual. Knit the second stitch, then lift the first stitch over the second one using the other needle and drop it. Do the same with the next stitch. Knit it and pass the previous stitch over it. The next stitches will be purled and passed over the previous one. Move the yarn to the front, insert the needle into the stitch from front to back. Rub the yarn and pull it through. Now you have 1 stitch left. Cut the yarn and pull it through the last stitch. Thread the yarn into the needle, join the left and right edging of the last row. Then weave in the yarn end into the scarf and trim it. The scarf is ready. You did an amazing job. Thank you for watching my tutorial and knitting this scarf with me. Just remember, if you have any questions or if something didn't work out, feel free to message me on Instagram and I'll be happy to answer you. I'd love it if you shared a photo of your scarf on Instagram and tagged me so I could repost your work. And of course, don't forget to subscribe me to get all my crochet and knitting tutorials and mini lessons.